My name is Michael Nguthu. I am a jewelry designer at the intersection of sustainability and luxury. I've been a jewelry designer for 10 years, and I am the founder and designer of NBO, which is a Kenyan-based jewelry brand. So I started with NBO in 2019. At the time, I used to work for companies that were based either in the US or in Europe that wanted to produce ethically on the continent, but I wasn't very happy with the way that they were framing the work that we did with artisans. It was very much like, let's help these poor Africans, and it didn't really portray the dignity and the creativity that these artisans that we work with have naturally. And so I wanted to shift that narrative and start telling a different story of the work that we do with the artisans. So that was actually the reason why I started We Are NBO, also to just show how ingenious the artisans that we work with are. The fact that they're self-taught, oftentimes using what is available to them to create pieces that are stunning and covetable around the world. I really wanted to create a brand that showcases that. Honestly, it wasn't by choice, it was by design. My first job was with a company that worked with artisans, and so over time I built relationships with them. And actually you can say that the story of the brand is relational, because we've grown together in skill and capacity. So it wasn't something that I intentionally sought out to do, based on the fact that it was a byproduct of just working my first job. But right now I wouldn't have it any other way. The forms are very organic, very soft. There's a lot of inspiration from nature, from our surroundings. Really, the jewelry to me should spark a feeling of presence, like noticing what is around you, using what is around you, and not so much overthinking and just leaning in to the beingness of being a human being. So that's the feeling that I hope the jewelry evokes. I actually think that question should be the other way around, in the sense that why shouldn't sustainability be important to anyone? That's literally the future. I feel like people people act like we have another planet that we can all move to after we trash this one. We have no other planet. Everything that we should do should aim to create a future for the people that will be left behind on this planet once we go. And sustainability shouldn't be an option anymore, as much as the modus operandi, the way that we do things in the world right now. We actually don't have any time left to keep things as they are right now. All the pieces are handmade, so already that makes it a unique product. It's one piece is not going to look the same to the next one. It's going to have a different feeling, a different finishing, different texture. It all looks similar, but there are minor differences when you notice that the piece is handmade. However, I think it's also just the way that we choose to combine locally made materials with more hard to find components like pearls, semi-precious stones, the way that we use texture in combination with other elements of design. I think that's what makes our pieces unique. I would say that most of our collections are somewhat collaborative with our artisans. So we consider our pieces a conversation between me and the artisans that I work with. Sometimes they will discover some cool thing that they were able to do with wire, and I'll be like, oh my goodness, let's see how we can explore this technique, this dimension. Other times I'll see something and they'll be like, oh, this is impossible, we can't do it. But then later on, they'll be like, they'll try it out by themselves and show me that they actually attempted and they had the initiative to try it on their own. So I think each piece or like each design has been thoughtful, like has been designed thoughtfully between me and the artisans that I work with. And I feel like that's what makes also a brand special. I think one thing that people don't talk about as much is how a lot of this work is just managing relationships. Because these artisans have different backgrounds, they have different responses to work, like different expectations when it comes to work and relationships. And because we work so relationally with them, there are ways in which we work that wouldn't be considered traditional. If, say, for example, you're working with a factory, right? So there is a lot of relationship management that goes into working with artisans. And I think that's also the beauty of handmade pieces, is that I feel like those relationships are evident in the pieces that we make. So when you look at something that has been, machine made, there is a lack of like soul or like a presence of the hand, which I find is completely the opposite with handmade pieces. And that relationship is very evident in the work that we do with the artisans in our pieces. So I think that African luxury is the last bastion of luxury right now, because each piece is made with intention, is made slowly. Each piece is unique. Most of the pieces that are luxury handmade on the continent follow like the time-honored, slow traditions of luxury. Right now, I feel like luxury globally is in crisis because a lot of pieces are mass-produced. A lot of pieces, they're made in one place and then assembled in another, and then they are purported to be considered to be made in a prestigious place when actually it's just assembled in that prestigious place. Whereas on the continent, most pieces are local to that area that they are being made. So I feel like each piece that is luxury from the continent tells a story of where it's from, the people that made it. And I feel like that quality is really, really difficult to replicate around the world. And I think that's why African luxury right now is having a really big boom globally, or is taking stage globally, because that's the soul of luxury. I think the slowness, the presence of the hand, the hyper specific geolocation of like particular materials, particular components, particular techniques. I feel like those things are really difficult to find in other parts of the world, and it's pretty natural to us on the continent. What's next for We're NBO is that we have a lot of interesting collaborations happening on the pipeline. We're NBO actually was meant to be a collaborative brand, which is the we are aspect of We're NBO. So over the next year, we will be having a number of exciting collaborations with a number of cool brands based on the continent. So I'm really excited about that.